Yeah, I think it's Vidya Mataji, right? Today, ready?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, whenever you're ready, you can start, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, all glories Guru, to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Today we are reading from Canto 7, Chapter 11, The Perfect Society, 4 Social Classes. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devin Swaraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Muriraye Nashta Prayeshu Bhareshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhavati Nastike. Text 1. Text 1. Sukadev Goswami continued. After hearing about the activities and character of Prahalad Maharaj, which are adored and discussed among great personalities like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, Yudhishthira Maharaj, the most respectful king among exalted personalities, again inquired from the great saint Narada Muni in a mood of great pleasure. Text 2. Maharaj Yudhishthira said, My dear Lord, I wish to hear from you about the principles of religion by which one can attain the ultimate goal of life, devotional service. I wish to hear about the general occupational duties of human society and the system of social and spiritual advancement known as Varnas Rama Dharma. Text 3. O best of the Brahmanas, you are directly the son of Prajapati, Lord Brahma. Because of your austerities, mystic, yoga, and trance, you are considered the best of all of Lord Brahma's sons. Text 4. No one is superior to you in peaceful life and mercy, and no one knows better than you how to execute devotional service or how to become the best of the Brahmanas. Therefore, you know all the principles of confidential religious life, and no one knows them better than you. Text 5. Sri Narada Muni said, After first offering my obeisances unto Lord Krishna, the protector of the religious principles of all living entities, let me explain the principles of the eternal religious system of which I have heard from the mouth of Narayana. Text 6. Lord Narayana, along with his partial manifestation Nara, appeared in this world through the daughter of Daksha Maharaj, known as Murti. He was begotten by the Dharma Maharaja for the benefit of all living entities. Even now, he is still engaged in executing great austerities near the place known as Badarikasrama. Text 7. The Supreme Being, the personality of Godhead, is the essence of all Vedic knowledge, the root of all religious principles, and the memory of authorities. O King Yudhishthira, this principle of religion is to be understood as evidence. On the basis of this religious principle, everything is satisfied, including one's mind, soul, and even one's body. Text 8 through 12. These are the general principles to be followed by all human beings: truthfulness, mercy, austerity, observing fast on certain days of the month, bathing twice a day, tolerance, discrimination between right and wrong, control of the mind, control of the senses, nonviolence, celibacy, charity, reading of scripture, simplicity, satisfaction, rendering service to saintly persons, gradually taking leave of unnecessary engagements, observing the futility of the unnecessary activities of human society, remaining silent and grave and avoiding unnecessary talk, considering whether one is the body or the soul, distributing food equally to all living entities, both men and animals, seeing every soul, especially in the human form, as a part of the Supreme Lord, hearing about the activities and instructions given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the shelter of the saintly persons, chanting about these activities and instructions, always remembering these activities and instructions, trying to render service, perform worship, offering obeisances, becoming a servant, becoming a friend, and surrendering one's whole self. O King Yudhishthir, these 30 qualifications must be acquired in the human form of life. Simply by acquiring these qualifications, one can satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Damatnam. So today we are reading Canto 11, chapter number 11, and we're starting from verses 1 to 12. The chapter is entitled The Perfect Society for Four Social Classes. This is really going to help every class of the society once we get into detail. Before getting into it, I will start with our prayers. ॐ अज्ञानं तिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमतिभक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिले नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण so this 11th chapter for social classes gives us a lot of details for all the classes of how and what their duty is, how they should be performed. So here we start. First verse, here Sukadev Goswami is saying that after hearing the beautiful characteristics of Prahlad Maharaj, now there is a desire from Yudhishthir Maharaj that he wants to hear more about the social classes. We'll do text number 1 and 2 together in here. So here the two questions that Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking. First is Sanatan Dharma. He's asking, give me more details about Sanatan Dharma, which is the eternal religion of a human being. Then the second question he asks is he would like to know more about Varnashram Dharma, that is the four Varna and four Ashram, their qualities and their duties. And here Prabhupada goes on to explaining in verse number 2 in the puppet. He gives a good explanation on the term Sanatana. Here Prabhupada is saying that Sanatan means devotional service, Dharma means devotional service. The term Sanatan refers to one which is always eternal, everlasting, like there is no end to it. This does not, which does not change but continues in all circumstances. That is Sanatan. Here, Prabhupada is also saying in this verse that we will look into the four categories of Varna and Ashram: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and Ashrams are going to be Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Moving on to next verse, verse number 3 and 4 we'll do together. Here in third and fourth, Yudhishthir Maharaj is praising Narad Muni. And he is saying that you are such a great devotee. You have such wealth of knowledge. Here, Prabhupada has not given us much of a description in the puppet, but I was thinking about it. He was saying that I want to submit to you and I want to learn from you. And that's when we understand, even from Bhagavad Gita, verse number 4.34, which says, Tadvidi pariprate na pariprashne na sevaya. That is, every person should always surrender to his Guru Maharaj, ask confidential questions, inquire about them, and how it should be done by providing uh, personal services to your Guru Maharaj. This is way submissively you should get knowledge from them, and it should always be within the disciplic succession. So when we talk about disciplic succession in Bhagavad Gita, if we go on to page number 30, there is a literal disciplic succession mentioned, which starts from Krishna Brahma Narad Muni. So, Narad Muni is one of the best Guru Maharaj to give you the knowledge of the scriptures and about devotional service. Moving on to the next verse, verse number 5. So here, in this verse, Narad Muni offers his humble obeisances to Krishna before getting into the Gyan that Yudhishthira Maharaj was requesting for. And then we move on to verse number 6. There is no purport by Srila Prabhupada in verse number 6, verse number 7. Oh, sorry, verse number 6 and 5. Here he starts with a story saying that Lord Narayan had come in his partial manifestation in the name of Nara, and he was begotten by Dharmaraj and Murti, Daksha Prajapati's daughter Murti. And he was performing a lot of austerities in Badrikashram, and he was saying that he is doing it at this moment also when we talk. So, after giving this information in verse number 7, dear devotees, will be one of the important verses that if we could have time and read the purport, it's not really big, but it's quite an interesting one. In verse number 7, here Narad Muni is saying that the Supreme Lord is the root of all religious principles. So, whatever religion a person follows, the ultimate goal of following that religion should be Krishna. Whatever means and methods you do, the answer, the aim should be Krishna. So, he is the root cause. And then it is said that Krishna is the essence of Vedic knowledge. He is the prime person in Jnana. Mm? And this, further, it is said in this verse that on the basis of this religious principle, everything will be satisfied, everything will be fine. Krishna is happy when you follow a religious principle which aims back to him. And here, Srila Prabhupada gives us the example of Savai Pumsam Paro Dharma, yeah, which says that the religious principles aim at learning how to render loving devotional service to Krishna. So religiosity should not be only, oh, we follow this, we follow that, and the aim is different. This is what Prabhupada is trying to specify in this verse. Everything should come down to Krishna. And the service should always be unmotivated. There has to be no ulterior motives to it. And then the human society only can be happy. So Prabhupada essentially was trying to say whatever religion, caste, creed you follow, if everybody's answer is Krishna, everybody can be happy and live harmoniously. Right? Here, Prabhupada also explained that there are 20 different types of scriptures for following the religious principles. And among them, the scriptures of Manu and Yagnavalkya are considered to be all pervading authorities. So here Prabhupada also gives information about Shruti and Smriti Jnana. For example, understanding Shruti Gyan would be directly coming out from Krishna's mouth, that is our Bhagavad Gita. That is Shruti Gyan. Smriti Gyan would be something, if I tell you and you go and recite the same thing to somebody else, that is by remembrance, that is Smriti Gyana. Prime example, important example would be Bhagavatam itself. Right? So Prabhupada is saying that once you're following the right Shruti and the Smriti Gyan prescribed to us by our superiors like Narada Muni, Krishna himself, then we will be in the right order, and eventual fruit of it will be happiness. Then we move on to verse number 8 to 12. Now we saw the translation is huge because it is talking about 30 qualities that a person should have. In these 30 qualities, we'll just go through, we can't go through all the 30 in detail because then it's going to be a lecture in itself. But if we consider the first couple, truthfulness. Prabhupada is giving here an example that if the population of a state society is untruthful, everybody is having that intense cheating propensity, being happy will not be possible. Similarly, he's talking about mercy. Mercy is very important. That is the one of the stamba of the society. If people are not merciful, living in that place is not called a human society. Then Prabhupada is not talking about all of these 30 qualities in detail in the purport, but he does specify that tolerance and not discriminating between people and controlling your senses is absolutely important. He's saying that one, if a person is not able to control his senses, he's giving an example of a man that if he's discharging unnecessary semen, that is actually making him to have less intelligence, less remembrance, which makes the person lose so many of good qualities that are prescribed as per Shastra. Non-violence and being celibate is also important, Prabhupada says. So here, out of all these 30, all of them are extremely important. And it is also to be understood that the first 21 items that are mentioned over here, truthfulness, mercy, austerity, bathing twice a day, cleanliness, everything, first 21 of these items are the assistants in bhakti. And you need to practice this if you want to practice bhakti, right? The last 9 items are the core practices of devotional service. So this is very important to understand that a person can be a good sattvic nature. A sattvic, as in a person in mode of goodness, is not necessary to be a devotee. But a devotee will definitely have all the mode of goodnesses. So Prabhupada, when he wants to conclude this purport, he's saying, well, to have this one thing, it might become tedious, but if a person starts practicing bhakti sincerely, very sincerely, and follows all the rules and regulation, automatically the Vedai Bhakti turns into Raganuga Bhakti. So just because he's followed all the rules, or just because he's done the proper bhakti, submitted himself to Krishna's lotus feet, all these qualities slowly, gradually gets imbibed into that person, whoever is following the bhakti. Here, Prabhupada is saying, in one who has unflinching devotional service to Krishna, all the good qualities of Krishna and demigods are consistently manifested. However, who has no devotion to Supreme Personality of Godhead has no good qualification, because that person will always be engaged in mental concoction, tarka vitark, like whether this is right or wrong, right? And here, um, after this verse, this is the verse number 8 to 12. From verse 13 onwards, Narad Muni is going to start answering the second question. So far, the first question was answered about Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma being the most eternal Dharma, and that is having bhakti, following bhakti yoga. This is the main eternal religious principle that a human being has to follow. Apart from that, Prabhupada is saying whatever caste and creed you might be, Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, all these examples Prabhupada has given, whatever you might be, at the end of the day, all of it has to lead to Krishna, and that is our prime Sanatan Dharma. From verse number 13 onwards, Narad Muni starts explaining about Varnashram Dharma and 4 societies, their duties. So this is all what we had for discussion today. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.